What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out RealGamerNewz Weekend Wrap-Up. Today we've got some news from Nintendo towards investors, as well as our thoughts on the live stream they put out today. The latest Xbox event is just 2 weeks away. Far Cry 6 has been teased, as tomorrow Ubisoft puts out their next event. We've got news on new games, and PlayStation 5 news. If you like our video, thumbs up and subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about each new video we make. Xbox got into the headlines today by compiling a video about everything we know about the Series X so far. First of all, the Xbox Series X will use an 8-core, 3.8 GHz Zen 2 processor versus the PlayStation 5 using 3.5 GHz Zen 2 processor with variable refresh rate. On the Xbox Series X, that equates to 12 teraflops of power with 52 CUs. On the PlayStation 5, that's 10.28 maximum T-flops, but it is variable, so it doesn't always achieve that, and it's 36 CUs. Now, the graphics card on the Xbox Series X goes for a higher clock on average. The PlayStation 5 goes for a higher peak clock, but it is scaling. This is sort of like an Intel AMD sort of design, even though AMD is making both of them. They'll both have GDDR6 16 gigabytes of shared memory for the graphics and the system. Xbox includes a 320 megabyte bus, which PS5 does not have, and the memory bandwidth is slightly higher on the PS5. The Xbox will use a 1 terabyte custom SSD. PS5 will use an 825 gigabyte custom SSD. They're both using NVMe architecture. Now currently on PC, you can use around 3 gigabytes a second drive speed with SSD and NVMe architecture. They will increase that to around 7 gigabyte per second when the PCIe 4 drives become available, and the PlayStation 5 is meeting somewhere in the middle with 5.5 gigabytes per second. They will both be expandable through NVMe SSDs, but Mark Cerny has noted that the SSDs will be required to be of PCIe 4 speeds for PS5, and Microsoft has actually made their own expansion cards partnering with Seagate. Both consoles also support external USB hard drives, which would be used for past generation games primarily, such as Xbox One or PS4 games. Both feature 4K UHD Blu-ray drives, and both will release holiday 2020. Many features for the Xbox have been announced, including the ability to suspend and resume many various games at once, an extreme cut to load times, and 8K graphics output, as well as 120 frames. Not for 8K mode, of course. That would probably be for a 4K mode if you have the right display. Very few games are going to be able to do 4K 120 Hz. They're probably going to be games that do not have realistic photo graphics. Rather, they'd be fantasy graphics, such as Mario type of games. And I'm going to be honest, what Xbox released today is the most boring 7-minute video I've seen, so I just gave you guys the specs of the next-gen systems in case you don't know, and we'll just move on. I love Xbox, and I've been a pretty big proponent of their Xbox Series X, but I gotta be honest on that one. Hopefully, at their Xbox Games Showcase that they've announced for July 23rd, we'll have a lot of exciting stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but based on everything I've been hearing from my wife and fans of Nintendo, Nintendo's July 2020 TreeHouse seems to be a flop. Mario's origami game is underwhelming. No experience after battle still. It seems like the coin system attempts to address that. The second game they showed off was very childlike, anime-based, and mainly only interesting for pre-existing fans of the IP. Nintendo did try to set expectations and seemingly did just fine with that, but it doesn't mean they can set demand, which the market clearly has a lot of for Nintendo announcements right now. After all, the company has not hosted a Direct in a long time. Doesn't look terrible, but doesn't look like it addressed the previous issues fans had with the direction of the series, which is bad. Plus, it just isn't enough after all the waiting we've done for Nintendo to show gamers something new to be excited in 2020. In a recent earnings call with investors, Nintendo announced that the Switch family of consoles will have a longer life cycle than the Wii U and will not be ending for some years still. There won't be a Switch 2 anytime soon, but that doesn't fully rule out a Switch Pro, although perhaps it will be further in the future than we originally thought. PlayStation has invested over $250 million in Epic Games. As part of the Unreal Engine 5 announcement in May, Sweeney said in an interview that Epic Games has a close relationship with Sony. We've been working super closely with Sony for quite some time, With strong storage architecture and other elements, it's been our primary focus, but Unreal Engine 5 will be in all next-gen platforms, so will Fortnite. He added, Sony has done an awesome job of architecting a great system here, talking about the PlayStation 5. It's not just a great GPU, and they didn't just take the latest PC hardware and upgrade it. The storage architecture in PlayStation 5 is far ahead of anything you can buy on PC at the moment. It's great to see that sort of innovation. It's going to help drive future PCs. With 2 SSDs, it's time to catch up. Epic Games did not say what it would use the money for, but it's a good bet that the company will continue to make acquisitions, invest in its Epic Games Store, expand Fortnite, and drive towards the creation of something they call the metaverse, which they say is a universe of virtual worlds, all interconnected, such as novels, films, and games, Snow Crash, Ready Player One, etc., as one of the company's goals and hopes. So now Sony has invested $250 million in Epic Games, as the two concluded gushing over each other's technology in the preceding months. Initial reactions will likely be positive by fans of the PlayStation platform, while other market leaders could feel some concern for this and react by embracing a competitor to Unreal Engine. That will take some years to apply to the market though, as game projects take that much time and they cannot pivot to another engine unless it's Final Fantasy 15, of course. This is your July 10th weekend wrap-up from RealGamerNewz. Later in the show, we're going to show some more PlayStation 5 news. Stay tuned for that. Far Cry 6 leaked in this morning. A listing for Far Cry 6 leaked on Hong Kong version of PlayStation Store, and then we were given a small teaser by Ubisoft to confirm. Shouts out to Gamers Prey for capturing it. Breaking Bad actor Giancarlo Esposito will be the antagonist of the game, which we will find out more about during Ubisoft Forward, a live stream event taking place July 12th, this Sunday. PlayStation 5's game box art format has been revealed. It's white and black mainly, with a small blue border. Capcom has announced that digital game sales are now making up 80% of their game sales, and it's still climbing. Is this the end of physical media around the corner for blockbuster game releases? Tell us what you think in the comments. We'll read them on our next show and debate this age-old issue once again in our next RGN. In Mega Man VR, known as Rockman VR, announced in Japan. Fans are having mixed reactions thus far, and the franchise certainly has had its ups and downs, with Mega Man Legends 3 still being mentioned to this day in the gaming community, and Capcom attempting to rebuild their trust with the fan base. Having a somewhat successful road so far, we'll see how this one goes. Hopefully it continues to add to the evidence that Capcom is trying to please Mega Man fans and make good Mega Man games again. True, T-R-U-E, Tomb Raider Ultimate Experience has been trademarked by Square Enix. The trademark has emerged and seems to be a collection of all Tomb Raider games sold as one package. These recent Tomb Raider games have been repacked and sold so many times in ways now I'm losing track. This is partially due to the ridiculous price of creating its initial game engine and assets, resulting in the original release controversy, as Square Enix declared that the original game in the series failed to meet exclusive sales expectations despite shifting millions of units and gaining the praise of critics. This is such a waste of an interesting product name. Tomb Raider Ultimate Experience, to me, is not selling us the same recent games a third time. It would have been a high-quality VR game starring Lara Croft, if it's up to me. Square Enix continues to fumble with its handling of Western IPs, in my opinion, but things are improving. Time will tell, though, if Deus Ex can survive when Cyberpunk enters the market, but this competition could bring the best out of Deus Ex, hopefully. True is expected to release on PS4, Xbox, Steam, and Stadia on August 27th after a leaked marketing image appeared, and it is rumored for Nintendo Switch, but not confirmed yet, despite the fact that Switch is the only platform which really needs this silly compilation release from Square Enix. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 is now available on Nintendo Switch and is gaining praise worldwide. Players will have available the same character as last time with sword play, as well as 3 other companions with new and different styles of play, which can be switched between all 4 at any time. Incredibly looking pixel art and side-scroller action are combined to revisit the classics in this retro-inspired title, which is also available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Go swimming, go fishing with your hands, and more in the new updates coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons this summer. Of course, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it will be winter for you, just as in real life, and Northern Hemisphere players will be getting even more content, which is rolling out steadily in July. Some of the new July content includes the giraffe stag, huge ocean sunfish, the addition of the walking stick, pufferfish, sharks, and many more. Players can swim in their wetsuit at any time, and we've noticed a distinct change in the fashion trends as players are walking around keeping their wetsuits on all day so they can swim anytime. You can even dive underwater and catch creatures like sea star or spotted garden eels. That's right, that means now you can make an aquarium in your island museum. Overall, Animal Crossing New Horizons is offering a ton of free updates so far, rolling out on time and making a lot of people happy. So happy, in fact, that we're not even mad about today's crappy event. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out the weekend wrap-up. Until next time, keep it real, keep it gaming, alright? Stay safe out there, have fun, everybody. YOLO. Peace. Thanks for checking out today's video. Like and subscribe and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos. Peace.